When I looked up Montessori, I just loved the ideology of it. I loved the idea of meeting the child where they are.
As a past educator, I feel that Montessori is so important in the early years for that self-directed learning where they focus on the whole child, mentally, cognitively, socially.
HCS has done so much for our family, our children. It's helped us raise our children based on what they learn in school, with their manners, how they socialize with other children, how they socialize with us.
The Montessori philosophy is really something special. It really does develop a child's natural sense of curiosity. It gives them a chance to explore.
Everything is geared towards learning. So if your child is more inclined towards mathematics or reading or learning letters or painting, there's always something to be gained in doing all the works that the school offers.
She started in pre-primary when she was 2. Walked into the classroom, didn't even look back at me.
The first day I was very nervous about my daughter. She's a little more quiet. And the first day she came home from school, she loved it. So that, from the start, made me feel really good about HCS.
She learned a lot of independence at HCS with the Montessori philosophy.
One of the reasons we decided on this school after touring several local preschools was Heather.
Parenting is the hardest job in the whole world. And parents have often told us that the support that they receive here at Hagerstown Children's School has helped them through some of those situations where they weren't sure what they should do.
She's easily accessible. If you have a question, she's always willing to answer on the spot. She responds our emails so quickly. Heather's been here for 20 years, and her love of the children is easily seen.
So here at Hagerstown Children's School, we utilize the Montessori philosophy to look at each child individually, their skills, their personality, and we develop a program that suits that child's needs and balances their needs with the needs of the whole group of children. Maria Montessori was a physician in Italy. She was an educator, innovator. She looked at education through the eyes of a scientist. She did experiments to see which philosophy of teaching worked best. She did lots of observation, and through those observations, she designed materials and environments that best helped students reach their full potential.
The process is what's important, and so that's a very difficult concept in our society. We always want something to show for our time. For a child, doing it is what has value. And the famous story is the child filling the sand bucket on the beach and the adult with them getting bored and taking the shovel and filling it up, presenting it to the child, and the child immediately dumps it over and starts filling it up again. It's the process that has the value, not the finished product.
Miss Susan has dedicated many years of her life to studying Montessori and teaching young children. Her calm demeanor does make children feel at ease in the classroom and helps them to transition.
I suppose for me, because of language being so significant to me, the most aha moment is when a child is pushing sounds together, getting them closer, and they go, cat, cat. Miss Susan, that says cat. That's a big aha moment. That's like totally worth everything. But then there's so many other things. There's the child who just takes care of something themselves after watching the water drip on the floor, drip on the floor, and drip on the floor. And then this time they went, got a towel, cleaned it up, put everything back just right.
They have to clean up after themselves, clean up their bowls, clean up their cups. I think that's one aspect of how children learn that you need to take care of your own hygiene, washing your hands, and your own mess, and not only here, but at home as well.
The level of independence that children gain here at Hagerstown Children's School does often surprise adults. The children are very capable of completing things like choosing their own activity, serving their own snack, choosing when and if they have snack. Parents are often surprised and in awe of how independent children actually become in the classroom.
I came into Miss Mariah's class one day early to pick him up, and there's a bead system for snack. And I saw Roman get done with his snack, hang his bead on the wall, put his cup in a bin, put his plate in the garbage, and I said, I'm going to apply that at home. And when I applied it at home, it took him 2 tries. Even though he's never done that at home before, it took him 2 tries, and now it's the system at home. When we first toured the school and the works were explained to me, I didn't quite get it. And when we toured the school, it was during the summer program and it was empty, there weren't any children, so I couldn't actually see it. But when I witnessed Roman interacting in the works, I got it immediately.
They take their work off of the shelf, they take it to a table, and they start working on it. Once they start using the work, if they need any additional help, the teachers are right there at their side. With the small class size, it's easy for the teacher to maneuver between students. Some of the works are done on work rugs, which gives a nice border for this is my area and the other kids aren't messing with each other's work. Some works are meant for a teamwork, so 2 kids might work together to do a puzzle of the globe.
And so for Dr. Montessori, play had this tone of being frivolous, unnecessary, but work meant it had value. And so what she wanted was for children to be respected for what they were doing, that they were creating their world and their abilities through what they were doing.
So whenever you refer to their activity as work, it gives them a sense of accomplishment and builds their sense of responsibility.
They have to be responsible to put it all back into the bowl, put it back in the shelf, roll up their mat, and put the mat away. And when I saw Roman do it consistently, picking him up, I was impressed with it, and I love the idea.
It's laid out for the children to make independent choices, that some might like math and some might like the language, but the works that they choose, it's not really them actually learning math and learning English as they see it, but it's just like putting the letters or the letter sounds to an object. So the rooms are set up with the work to make it inviting to them so that it entices them to want to be a part of their environment.
Ms. Penny loves working with young children in the pre-primary classroom. She has grown into that position and has just become a fantastic teacher and treats every child as an individual.
Because every child learns differently, and some could be drawn to the art table or some could be drawn to the math work or the practical life, and so they're working out on their skills that they need to work on at that time. I love being able to greet the children every day at the door and their parents are with them. They drop them off, they pick them up, so I can build relationships with them that way. Or, you know, when we have our parent association meetings or our meet the teachers or like our art show, that we get to, you know, communicate with the parents.
I really like pickup because I can always talk to the teachers about what the kids have learned that day or what they focused on or where they had trouble.
I always know, I feel like, what's going on in the classroom and how Madeline is doing.
They're always communicating great with the parents, and, you know, if they see something with a child that could be a problem, they're, you know, always keep an eye on it and letting us know and keeping us informed.
The classroom that he's leaving, the teacher, she was almost in tears. I said, she's that type of, there's something really special about her. She has this connection to the kids and she really knows how to get down to their level and reach them. And I said, she was almost in tears because she was so happy that he was growing and developing, going to this next classroom. So that's just one testament to say how much I love the staff here.
For our primary students, our 3 through 5 year olds, the ratio is 10 to 1, 10 students to 1 staff member. It is important to maintain a small staff to student ratio so the staff become connected with the children and really get to know them personally. And children do stay with the same group of teachers for that 3-year cycle. In our pre-primary classroom, the ratio is 1 to 6 children, and that ratio is smaller because it is a younger age group. I spend a lot of time building the teams, making sure that they're complementary personalities. It's important to have 2 different people in the classroom because each child then finds a personality that they are drawn to.
And also, a kind of unique thing, we have a really wide variety in staff. And my assistant in my classroom is so much younger than I, almost young enough to be my grandchild. So that in and of itself offers a lot to the children, that wide age span. We notice different things and we offer them different things. Now on staff we have a young person who was actually a student here.
Marley started here whenever she was a preschooler.
My mom said I was reading before I left here. Before I even started kindergarten, I had started to read. That obviously is a huge step into going into kindergarten, already being able to read. These kids are leaving here knowing their continents and knowing that they live in a bigger place than just going to school and going to home. They know that they live in a state, that they live in a country, on a continent, on our globe, and that's a big thing for a 3 and 4-year-old.
We wanted him to have a global outlook. We thought that that was really important for him to grow up having a good global understanding of the world. And I feel like this school, this environment has set him up in that way.
Diversity is very important to us, and I feel like they do an excellent job introducing different cultures, different types of people, different types of art. But then I also noticed that there's also just respect for another human being.
Montessori, I think, is definitely big into celebrating diversity and knowing that each child is different. We come from different backgrounds.
Diversity is being introduced to him, not just because the kid next to him looks differently, but because the book they're reading has children that look different, and because the holiday they're learning about, they do differently in another country or another culture.
That's important for the children to understand that, especially to build that foundation into adulthood so they're accepting of everyone.
If you want a Montessori education, you don't have a lot of options if you don't want to drive 25 miles. So there's that. And then we have our beautiful new facility, which is a really big part of it.
I was invited to tour the Hagerstown Children's School. My impressions were very positive. Security, cleanliness, attentiveness of staff. I was very happy to see such a school in the city of Hagerstown.
It's a beautiful building. It's been 100% renovated. The doors are locked, the cameras are on, the hallways are happy, the rooms are clean and orderly. Everything is child-sized, the tables, the chairs, the sinks, the bathrooms. It's easy for children to feel comfortable and to learn and grow here.
We're on the second floor. The whole floor is locked down. There is no access without someone inside letting a parent or someone else in. I feel completely comfortable sending my children here.
Our playground is huge. Lots of area for the kids to go out during their playtime.
We also have multiple cameras where we can monitor our students at all times.
The overall security, cameras, locking doors, access, parking lot was very, very good.
Education for Life is the philosophy for the school. As children grow, they are developing what is called soft skills, such as critical thinking, interpersonal skills, collaboration, independence, and time management.
A big, big part of Education for Life is the notion that if I don't know how to do it, I can learn how to do it. I don't have to have somebody else do it for me.
Open House is the first opportunity for community members to enroll. That happens the January before school starts. The child has to be 2 before September 1st of the current school year to enroll in our pre-primary program. A child has to be 3 by September 1st of the current school year to enroll in our primary program.
My husband woke up at 6 a.m. the first day of open enrollment in January, got his captain's chair from the garage and a blanket, and he was at the door of HCS at 6 a.m. to be the first in line to make sure that Madeline got into the pre-primary program. They are teaching my child and caring for them like I would.